Hello and welcome back to Car Rental University. I am your host, Alex Withrow. Today we are going to talk about 5 different things that HyreCar needs to fix to make themselves a competitive car share platform in this industry. Before I get into that, click below, grab the 5 things you must do before starting a car rental business. That also includes the car share growth guide, which gives you a city-by-city breakdown of which car share platform is strongest in your area. HyreCar is an interesting company to me because obviously they were acquired by Getaround a little over a year ago. 90% of hosts and car rental professionals and operators, 90% of them in this industry dismiss HyreCar. They think of HyreCar as ridiculous, poor clientele, all kinds of headaches, incidents. Yes, that is all true. However, what I will say is, if you look at this company closely, there is a lot of money in that clientele. That is why I think there is a redeeming quality about HyreCar. But there are a host of issues that they need to fix before they become a contender in this industry. So number 1, let's talk about the software. Holy moly. The software, I bet when Getaround acquired HyreCar and the programmers at Getaround looked at that software, they thought to themselves, who did this nightmare? I mean, it is the clunkiest POS you've ever seen in your life. That's an obvious start for HyreCar, is fixing their software. The desktop interface is pretty clunky, very hard to work and deal with. I've never even tried to use their mobile version. I mean, I would assume it's horrendous, so I don't even want to take a look at it. But even the desktop version is tough to deal with. That's an obvious first place to start. I think they would speed things up, increase their revenue just by making the system much easier to navigate. Typically, when you accept a rental on HyreCar, it takes like 24 hours to kind of get the machine clunking along to approve the rental and deal with the insurance. So that's an obvious first place to start. Another thing is better vetting of customers, right? So I've said this before and I'll say it again, probably about 1/4 to 1/3 of the clientele on HyreCar have bad intentions for your car. We need to take the Trust Score AI system on Getaround and drop that onto the HyreCar system and get rid of all the Grand Theft Auto guys, because I've heard horror stories with HyreCar. I have experienced horror stories. There used to be a guy on YouTube who had a whole business built around HyreCar, and he was an influencer many years ago, if you remember this. I think his name was James, and he had a whole channel all about passive income, revenue regarding HyreCar. He was actually good friends with Aubrey Janik, and so the two of them came up together on YouTube. Aubrey obviously tied her wagon around Turo, and he tied his wagon around HyreCar. And I remember watching some of his videos, and he had like multiple cars stolen, multiple issues, all kinds of craziness. I feel bad for him because I have too gone through that experience with HyreCar. Some of you don't know this, but I have actually stolen 3 cars back from thieves when I lived in New York City. There's great joy that comes from stealing your car back, I will say, especially when they leave their wallet in the car. That's the best. But what I will say is HyreCar really needs to clean up their clientele. However, what's great about their clientele, like I mentioned before, is that of the good ones, of the good apples on the platform, these are typically people who want to rent your car for 6 to 8 months at a time or more. And that is awesome. That is literally the most valuable customer in this industry. That is the one redeeming value and quality of HyreCar, is that when you can find those good seeds, there's a lot of money with those guys. And so that is why I think it is worth working with HyreCar to find those good seeds. Next, it would be great if we saw the Connect system on Getaround get incorporated and pushed into the HyreCar system. The handoff process right now is still a little clunky with HyreCar. Typically, you have to coordinate a key handoff, or you can do a lockbox system. It would be nice if the Connect system could be put on HyreCar cars and have that incorporated into the Getaround ecosystem. I would assume that they plan to do that eventually. That makes obvious sense. So they probably just haven't gotten around to it yet, but I would think that that will happen eventually. Additionally, they need to make the insurance more like Getaround. Getaround's very good about paying out claims. As of late, they've been a little slow, but with HyreCar, what drives me nuts about HyreCar is that there's a lot of gotcha moments on HyreCar. So they'll say, oh, well, your shop didn't submit a supplemental request for money within the time frame that we specified. It's got to be done within 4 weeks. I mean, sometimes shops just get bogged down. They lose track of things. They are used to being able to submit the supplemental whenever they need to, whether it be in 2 weeks or 2 months. So that's a very tricky thing to deal with. HyreCar, I hate that policy. I've gotten screwed on that before where I lost $2,500 because of that. Not cool. My general feeling is that no more gotcha moments on HyreCar in effort to save money. That is an awful, awful policy. The hosts are what's bringing this company money and their cars, so we gotta treat them well. Like, just have an ethical insurance policy, pay out the claims in a timely manner, like do what needs to be done to make people whole and right. That needs to happen. We need to get rid of these gotcha policies. Lastly, I would say it would be great to have more host support. I will say that the support team and account management team at HyreCar is decent. They are pretty good about moving things along with you. It's just that they're young. They're very young. And I get it. You're hiring these guys out of college. They're cheap. You just need someone to kind of push the process along with all the hosts. I get that. It would be nice if you had kind of that tier, but also more advanced level enterprise hosts. Now, I do believe that they do have an enterprise package. They probably do have some of the more enterprise and advanced level people in the company working with those enterprise level folks who are paying for that subscription. It would be nice in general if there was kind of some level of support to push this along. This industry is still pretty new. A lot of people don't really understand how all this works with car sharing, and that's why they come to this channel. And so it really is a kind of thing where it just helps a lot to have that kind of support. Overall, like I said, I think that HyreCar does have a place in this industry. Those long-term Uber drivers, we all love those guys. That's really where the money is with HyreCar, and that's a very valuable commodity in this industry. And HyreCar could really find a way to monetize that in an effective way with a few changes. So that is what I think that really needs to be done with this company. At this point where it stands right now, it has a long way to go to get to that. All that to say, drop some comments. I want to hear all about your HyreCar horror stories. I know you have them. Let's all pray together that we can get the Grand Theft Auto drivers off of HyreCar. And before I go, click below, grab the 5 things you must do before starting a car rental business. I will catch you in the next episode. Thank you. Kairos Mobility Ventures, a startup in the electric mobility space as well as the peer-to-peer rental space. The big news I want to share with you is that we have, as of about a month ago, launched a co-hosting program. Now, what is co-hosting exactly? If you are not familiar, it's when you, as the owner of a car, give us a car to manage and operate on your behalf. We handle everything. You just get a report and a check at the end of the month. In terms of repairs, incidents, issues, whatever, we will handle all of that. Basically, we give you a profit split. Right now, we are running a promotion for an 80-20 profit split. If you give us an electric vehicle, we will give you a 90-10 profit split. Some of you are not really cut out for operations, or you may just have a few cars and you're like, oh, I'm tired of this already. If that is you and you want to give your car to us up in Boston, we will manage your car on your behalf, send you a check, send you a report once a month. If you are interested in this, click below, grab that submission link and fill it out. I will get back to you shortly.